Hello, so we're back again to talk about another release, this time from 88 Films. It seems to always go back and forth between 88, Eureka, Arrow, Radiance. Honestly, these boutique labels at the minute are doing such gorgeous work. And hey, don't want to leave you out, Criterion, even though I'm still a bit raw at you for not doing an UK release for Heroic Trio and the Executioners, but we'll leave that there. But yeah, this time again, just come out the other day. Picture of a Nymph. Yun Biao, Wu Ma, Joy Wong. Um, it's a film that I hadn't seen. There's quite a few, again, I've been broadening my horizons with Hong Kong cinema over the past couple of years. But this is the latest in a streak of Yun Biao, or a run of Yun Biao releases that 88 Films have been doing. We've had Rosa, we've had Saga of the Phoenix and Peacock King, we've got this. And then, of course, you can kind of we got the Eureka Sammo Hung trio triple threat that came out a while back, and that had, of course, Shanghai, which again Sammo's great in that one, but it's a Yun Biao film, so we've been getting basically an embarrassment of riches, and hopefully it'll continue. I'm hoping we'll soon get licensed to steal, because that's one of those that's high up on the list, Yun Biao and Joyce Cadenzi. But yeah, this one, Picture of an Nymph, one of the things I was instantly struck by was the gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. I stumbled across it just, on, I think it was on X. You've got a couple of pages dedicated to like upcoming physical media releases. Obviously you've got 88 Films official page on there, but is it Dawn of the Discs, and then of course there's City on Fire, all of those good pages. But yeah, I was just scrolling through and just stumbled upon, oh, what is this? And the gorgeous artwork, and obviously I like Yun Biao a lot, and I really like Joy Wong. But yeah, I thought, oh, let's look into this, and now obviously, yeah, it's kind of Chinese ghost story, in that vein. I, I, I mean, for me, I go back and forth because obviously I always keep an open mind. I never like to limit myself to like, oh, I like this particular style of movie. I always think a good movie's a good movie, whatever genre, whatever style it happens to be made in. If it's a good movie, at the very least, you're going to be able to get something from it. So these are always fun though, and I always appreciate those like ghost story movies that go that extra bit zany and an extra bit out there. Like I love Kung Fu from Beyond the Grave, um, where they literally summon Count Dracula. Burns, yeah, the Black Sorcerer, who is one of the background extras from Enter the Dragon. He burns a wad of, is it $100 bills, and then Dracula just descends. Yeah, we need that. We need that to get a release. Kung Fu from Beyond the Grave. But yeah, some of the really zany ones are really, really fun. And again, I've watched through those again recently. The recently got my hands on the Mr. Vampire sequels, because they did the individual release of Mr. Vampire, and then they did the box set, the sequels. I really like that third one, man, with Richard Ng. And then, of course, you have that wonderful scene where you got Sammo comes strolling in wearing the bow tie and he's carrying the cake. And you've got, like, Wu Ma and you've got Corey Yoon, and they're all sat at the table with Lam Ching Ying. It's great. Yeah, Mr. Vampire 3 is great, and that falls into that category of those, like, outlandish. Well, whether you, again, you can kind of group them all together to a certain extent. The Jiangxi hopping vampire, zombie, ghost story, all of that good stuff. But yeah, this is lovely. It really, really is. I've I was so blown away by this artwork. So there's a lot to it. Obviously, George Clark recently did a wonderful unboxing of it, but you've got all this gorgeous. I like how 88 Films have started doing these sleeves. They're really lovely, and I've got the god again. Joy Wong is so beautiful, and she's perfect for this kind of ghostly bride kind of role. You know, more often than not, she's the one you cast for the sympathetic one. Whereas you wouldn't and then you often have the two sides, don't you? You have the sympathetic one, and then you have the evil one. But yeah, she's perfect for this. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful artwork, and it continues. You get again some more artwork on this. You get a lot of here, and then on the back as well you get. It's gorgeous, and again, the quality of the boxes and the cases for these, you can see they haven't skimped. And then we've started getting these. They've done a change of pace because they seem to be shying away from doing the posters. And they seem to be just including the art cards with the poster art on. So you've got kind of like one of the original posters there. Probably the original Hong Kong poster. And then this one on the back is, again, guessing, is this the Thai poster? Maybe it is. Again, just beautiful, beautiful. Oh yeah, don't forget that wonderful, wonderful cameo early on in the film from Yuen Wah. Yuen Wah's another one, because sometimes he's more, you know, he's more of like a full-on character, more front and centre, but then other times he might just be off to the side. Like in this, he comes and goes. Of course, you've got stuff like in Mr. Vampire 4 with Wu Ma, where he comes and goes. Yeah, but again, it just goes to show these guys the great how, and they just, it just goes to show what the mentality or the approach in the industry was at the time. Like, oh yeah, you can be an absolutely first class talent like Yuen Wah, and we might have you front and centre in something like, I don't know, obviously Police Story 3 gets a really substantial role, Dragons Forever, of course, Iceman Cometh. But then, even then, he might have a smaller role where he just comes in and it makes a huge impression. Like Eastern Condors, he's only got very limited screen time, but he comes in, he creates this again. More often than not, he creates these really crazy, zany, outlandish characters. And then he has that fantastic fight at the end with Yuen Wah. Yuen Wah and Yuen Biao have this fantastic fight, and then even with so again, this is all over the place even by my standards, but we're gonna roll with it. Even like in She Shoots Straight, he's great in that. It just goes to show when you look back and you look at all of the different things Yuen Wah's appeared in. It's great. But yeah, it got this wonderful, wonderful art card. I might be in the minority, but I actually kind of prefer these to the posters. Because more often than not, I just end up keeping them folded up and slotted into. And the fact that you have to, it never sits right with me when you have to fold posters up. I don't know, but I really like the art cards. Got this gorgeous, gorgeous booklet. Again, more artwork. And then on the back you get this gorgeous shot from later on in the movie. But yeah, and then you get a lot of photo again, more poster art inside. You get some gorgeous, gorgeous stuff throughout the booklet. It's informative, but it has some great shots, from the film as well. Again, gorgeous shot of Joy. And those white flowing robes as well. Yeah. Yeah, so there's, again, brilliant, brilliant booklet. And then we get to the actual disc case itself. Got obviously the artwork from the main sleeve, and then on the box again, just it's basically what you get on the sleeve. Inside, of course, and then we've got the original Hong Kong poster artwork on the inside. But again, it's a gorgeous film. This one, you know, the production design on the whole thing is great. Of course, we've got Wu Ma at the helm of the film. Wu Ma directing, produced by Sammo Hung. I was kind of, again, because this was the first time I'd seen the film, so going in I was kind of hoping maybe will we get a little appearance from Sammo, but it's alright, we don't, but it's okay. I mean, as you say, Wu Ma's great in this, Yun Biao's great, Joey Wong, and then that little appearance from Yun Hua. But yeah, Yun Biao is certainly like the main character of this. Of course, it opens up with him as a baby being, you know, sent off down the river in a like Moses basket style, and then Wu Ma finds him and takes him in as his own and raises him. But it's great. It again. There's a lot of creative and imaginative set pieces going on. Of course, some outlandish like all of that like Taoist magic and things. It's always great to see. Of course, the concept of like the king ghost who's snatching the brides and taking the brides. Obviously, that's how Joey Wong's storyline gets underway. She's this bride to be who's been transported for a wedding day, and then the king ghost abducts her a while en route. But it's lovely. It's got a nice love story as well. The idea of a human falling in love with a ghost. That concept to which the title refers, Picture of a Nymph, you know, the artwork, the painting that the scholar paints, and then Joy Wong's ghost hides within the painting. It's a really cool concept. And again, the practical effects in this, you know, of how she emerges she emerges out of the painting, and just when you've got all of the like the creativity and thought that's put into the Taoist magic sequences, you know, you've got all kinds of things flying through the air, and you've got like swords that are, you know, glowing swords flying through the air, and again lots of like, you know, practical explosions going on as well, like things blow up, and I really like this sort of thing. I really, really do. It was a first time watch, and I'd got my hands on quite a few of the recent Yun Biao releases. This one's high up there. I really liked Rosa. It was the first time I'd seen that one, and I think I might put this at the top if I was to rank. What I might do if I was to do a ranking of the recent ones, because if we're going to factor in Shanghai, even though that was part of the Sammo Hung set that was released, I might put Shanghai, then this one, Picture of a Nymph, then Rosa, and then underneath that we've got the two films, Peacock King and Saga of the Phoenix. But yeah, this was a lovely, lovely surprise. I'm glad I got it. But it just goes to show a real... I've got a real appreciation for Yun Biao. I mean, because a lot of, like, when I've been building my Hong Kong collection up, a lot of it, as you might expect, had been focused around Jackie and then Sammo as well. But again, the amount of film... But organically, through that process, I've built up this tremendous Yun Biao collection, because you look at like the streak, like obviously Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars, and then of course you've got Millionaire's Express, Eastern Condors, Dragons Forever, and then of course you know they're like where he's appeared as part of the team, but then you throw into the mix stuff like Righting Wrongs and The Iceman Cometh. But then even before that, you've got stuff like Zoo Warriors of the Magic Mountain. And then, as you say, you got Shanghai, and there's just honestly this guy Yun Biao, even though he's often overlooked, which unfairly so, because he's brilliant at what he does. He's a fantastic martial artist. He's a fantastic acrobat. Some of the things he put, like some of the moves and stunts that he performs are absolutely first class. What a fantastic athlete he is. And again, he's a really good actor. He's got a really good screen presence. He's very, very likable. You know, you like seeing him on screen. You like, and again, he can work as a lead, and he can work in tandem. I like when he's working in tandem, particularly with Samo. I mean, there's another one on the run. Watched that recently for the first time, and again with Yunhua. But yeah, you know, that was an opportunity for him to try something different, a much darker role for him. But yeah, this is a guy who can do a lot of different things. And again, obviously, he's often overlooked. Because Jackie's the star. He always was, he always will be, and that's fine. But, and obviously, Samo, you know, he's the great filmmaker of them. If you want to kind of categorise them, like Jackie's the star, he's the great all-rounder. Samo is great, and obviously he's the veteran, really, and he's the filmmaker of them. But then you've got Yun Biao, who just is always reliable. He's great at what he does. He comes in, he adds, he always elevates it. He always brings something to it. And but got to admire him as well, because I think he's someone who, he's always like, you never hear a bad word about Yun Biao. You know what I mean? Again, I don't want to get into it. I mean, but obviously, Jackie's had his fair share of controversy over the years. But Yun Biao, it seems as though everyone just, he came in, he was great at what he did, works hard, and he's left a great legacy behind. I mean, I know he's slowed down in recent years. Like, he pops up in things, but it would be really, really nice before it's all said and done to maybe see him come back and do something like, I don't know whether you want to say like, not necessarily in a lead role, but in like a substantial, like it would be nice to see Jackie, Samo and Yun Biao in something together again. But who knows? I mean, obviously we're in a golden age now in terms of the classic Hong Kong stuff getting fantastic re-releases through the likes of 88 Films and Eureka and Arrow. But obviously this can open it up to a whole new audience who are introduced to these, and it would be so nice at some point if we could all get them in something, it's just a little like, for lack of a better term, a reunion. I mean, I know Donnie Yen's going to be doing his John Wick spin-off. I'm not sure what stage they are with it, but when it finally happens, that would be a perfect opportunity. You could get Jackie, Samo and Yun Biao back together. Get Yunhua in there. Get Michelle Yeoh in there. People like this. Of course, Jet Li's recently come out of retirement, hasn't he, to do that film with Yuen Woo-ping. Get Jet Li in there. And again, these could be small roles, fair enough, but it would just be so nice to see them there. Yeah. And Samo, if you're going to be in it, like this is just an example, if they're going to all be in this Donnie Yen John Wick spin-off, just as an idea, we don't know, but if Samo's going to be there, bring Joyce Cadenzi in, please, because Joyce Cadenzi is... I mean, Joyce Cadenzi's great. I mean, I love Michelle Yeoh. I love, just, like, in terms of, like, consistent, awesome action roles. Of course, Moon Lee will always be in the Hall of Fame for the fight she has with Yukari Oshima at the end of Iron Angels. But yeah, Joyce Cadenzi is the truth. She's great. What Joyce Cadenzi does in Eastern Condors, and again in She Shoots Straight. She's such a badass, man. I mean, I always talk about how I really think the coolest female character in cinema is Ellen Ripley in Aliens. Sigourney Weaver in that film, she's the greatest of all time. Of course, we've had other greats throughout the years. A great recent example who I always point to is Julia Estelle as the operator in The Night Comes for Us. But yeah, Joyce Godenzi from from Eastern Condors and from She Shoots Straight, absolutely is up there. But it would be great. It just would be great to have like a movie that brings all of these, again, Millionaires Express style. Because that film, Millionaires Express, the amount of names that we're able to pack into that film, it just continues to be. It continues to impress me. That you talk about ensemble films, that is in every sense of the word. Like everyone who's in it is a face, a name, someone you recognise. And if they were able to put together another film before it's all said and done that could do something along those lines, I think that would make a lot of fans very, very happy. But that wraps whatever this is, because again, even by my standards, this has just been chaotic. But hope you've enjoyed it. I never want you to think I'm just, monotone, just reading from a script. Again, there's no script. But I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been fun to talk about. But yeah, if you haven't seen this, Picture of a Nymph, I definitely recommend it. It's not over long. Is it what, an hour 40? Less than. And it's fun. Some really cool action, really great choreography, really great of practical effects, and a really nice little love story in there as well. Yeah. So thank you for indulging me. Again, if you're a fan of the movie and if you bought this, please feel free to share your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. And I will see you all in the next one. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.